Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about my NGS headline predictions because the NGS headline is literally in 3 days. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily. So if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to go over is the schedule change for the coming maintenance. It's actually going to be 3 hours earlier than normal. So do keep in mind that, if you haven't collected your randomite, if you haven't collected all of your Stellar Graces, all of that stuff, that you do that relatively soon. Because again, maintenance is going to be 3 hours earlier than normal. It would really suck if you did miss a rotation of either of those, okay? The next thing I want to cover is there is a suspension of specific urgent quests in the Kvaris region after the maintenance. So as we can see over here, the Crocodilus Vera as well as the Ams Vera is actually phasing out. So we will no longer get these two urgent quests. In order to run these urgent quests, you're just going to have to run the trigger version of it. So exactly the same as Alio, as well as Retem, I believe, as well. So I do think that we are getting a new urgent quest that will be replacing these. And actually, when we look at the roadmap right here, you can see from January 31st to March, there is going to be a new limited time urgent quest as well as limited time quest times 4. However, I think this bug looking thing is going to be the new enemy that we're going to be fighting. It's probably going to be Darkfall something. And yeah, it definitely looks super interesting. So I am looking forward to the new urgent quest in the Kvaris region. Now, of course, I could be totally wrong, and this might actually be the standing party quest, which is like the new Darkfall Solus or whatever they're going to call it. And maybe the Raylin over here, this is like the advanced Raylin, might actually be the urgent quest. Who knows? It's going to be one or the other, that's for sure. But nevertheless, I am looking pretty forward to Kvaris. Now, on top of all that, if we look at the roadmap, we actually get quite a lot of information that is pretty much confirmed. First of all, we are getting a Spring 2024 seasonal event again. We are getting additional high rank sectors in Kvaris. We're getting new story quests, so finally a little bit more story. And there's going to be another dual quest phase 4. So again, they might debate us, and this bug might actually be dual quest instead of the standing quest. Who knows? And then, of course, as I said earlier, we have the new standing quest, we have a limited time urgent quest, as well as 4 limited time quests. So basically 1 every week. So I guess we can look forward to that, I guess. Personally, it's a little bit excessive when you get a new limited time quest every single week, but to be honest, I would rather have that than what we currently have this week, because this next Vera one, I'm not a fan. I gotta say, I'm not a fan. They kind of need to strike a balance between what they're aiming for between casual players and hardcore players, because the difficulty curve for this current next Vera limited time quest, if people don't know the strategy and if people aren't gearing at all, it is an absolute nightmare to run. I would suggest Sega to just have 2 different difficulties, so that for people who just want to blast through it really quickly, just for their dailies, they should be able to do like a rank 1 version where, everything is super low level, super easy to get through. And for people who are farming it over and over for loot or for seasonal points, there should be a higher difficulty level where, you get better rewards, you get more seasonal points, so forth and so on. That's what I personally would recommend Sega to do. But nevertheless, we're just gonna have to wait and see what limited time quest they cook up this time. Now, for the big updates that's going to be coming out is going to be the class level cap raised to level 85, as well as the Ranger and Gunner expansion. A lot of Rangers and a lot of Gunners are looking forward to this expansion because, when the Bouncer got their rework, it was mostly for the better. So I am hoping that when the changes for the Ranger and the Gunner expansion does come out, that it does improve the class and streamline it a lot more, make it a lot more easier to access. Because right now, if you're playing a Gunner, you kind of have to learn like 10 different things to actually be decent at it. And for Ranger, it's not as bad on Ranger, but you still need to learn quite a lot. It's not like the Braver, which is like pick up and play and you're good to go. You nail down like 80%, 85% of all the mechanics by just herpa-derping and just smashing buttons. But with the Ranger and Gunner, you definitely cannot just herpa-derp and run in. There are a lot of mechanics that you need to learn. So I do hope that they do streamline it a little bit and, make it a little bit more accessible for everyone. Now, as for my creative space friends, you know, they are adding the Kvaris theme, so we're finally getting a snowy themed in our creative spaces. That's definitely very nice. And we're getting more build parts ported from the base game, so that's also super nice. And of course, we're getting new build parts as always. As for the collaborations, it is guaranteed that we are getting the Niji-Sanji collaboration, so that is super nice. Now, do keep in mind, in this coming NGS headline, we might get a short little sneak peek on what the next one is going to be. It says anime based on a shonen manga, so that is definitely something I'm looking forward to for the next collaboration. It might be a Dragon Ball Z or something, I don't know, like a shonen manga. Hunter x Hunter would be pretty cool. I'm still hoping for Bleach as well as Demon Slayer. However, it does specify shonen manga over here, even though I do know that, of course, you know, Bleach as well as Demon Slayer are mangas as well. But if they specify shonen manga, I just feel like it's not likely going to be those two, since, you know, those two got really popular due to the anime and not to the manga. But then again, if we look at all the previous collaborations, you know, they've always chosen more, traditional or more safer bets, I guess. So who knows? I'm definitely looking forward to see what this anime-based shonen manga collaboration is going to be. And then they've got another collaboration, games from other companies. So that means that we might get a game collaboration that would be pretty cool. I don't know what it would be. If we got Nikkei, that would be very nice. It would align with the fashion scene very much, with the whole booba and the booty jiggles. So I would definitely like a Nikkei collaboration. But, you know, I don't really think that's actually going to happen. But nevertheless, these are pretty much the things that are guaranteed because, you know, they wrote it on the roadmap. Now, if we actually come to the YouTube site for their live stream, as you can see, live in 3 days, it'll be on January 30th, 8 p.m. my time. However, for my friends in the States, it's going to be January 30th at 4 a.m. PST. I don't know how you guys do it. 4 a.m. is pretty rough to wake up to watch the NGS headline. But nevertheless, as usual, I will be watching the NGS headline and making a recap video the moment it does go live, or after it finishes, of course. This time in the description below, they actually don't say anything. As you can see, you know, we're just going to get answers to comments and questions on the operation report segment. Starting from this headline, we will also be adding a letter from the developers in the operation report. So that is nice. You know, this is what I said in a previous video, where we are getting a response or some sort of note from the developers. So some insider information, so that is going to be pretty nice. But other than that, they kind of stripped out all the information in the description, which is why I had to refer to the roadmap to kind of get as much information as I could. I think they're probably doing this on purpose because they just don't want to have anyone have any expectations of or any speculation. So it's like, yeah, you know, don't expect anything from the NGS headline. Again, I'm going to be keeping my expectations relatively low. I'm just going to be expecting the stuff that they wrote over here in the roadmap and nothing more and nothing less.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.